Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadRunner.com quick update. Silver's up over $1. The dollar days are back. Why is that? Yes, it's because of commercial positioning on the COMEX, the derivative market, all that. We know that. But there's something else going on in the background. Always nice to see silver approaching $30. They defend that with naked derivatives that they throw on it all the time. Right now, the tech traders are having to cover because of this. As we see a jump above the 100-day moving average, all of a sudden, the tech traders who were shorting all up before it did this have to cover those shorts. That's the rocket fuel for the run higher, and that's what we saw. But that's not the big picture. When this runs to $40 and $50 and $100 and $1,000, they won't be talking about the derivative trading on the COMEX. The COMEX will be long shut down. The COMEX is a embarrassing derivative manipulation tool for the West, mainly the U.S. government, run out of the Exchange Stabilization Fund with the U.S. Fed and the Treasury and also the regulators. So, yeah. The problem is, because they kept the price of silver so low for so long, silver has been adapted by so many technologies that absolutely find it more and more necessary to get more and more silver. Because, number one, it's the best conductor of electricity. We know that. And number two, the price doesn't go up no matter how much you use. And that's because of the derivative market on the COMEX. So the COMEX traders, the COMEX shorts, HSBC, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, and of course JP Morgan, who plays both sides of the game, by the way. And they didn't understand what the ramifications of holding the price so low would do. And let me show you what it did. For example, first of all, let's look at the Silver Institute numbers. Yes, the Silver Institute is a fraud. We get that. But they're the only numbers we have, so we got to look at them. I showed last year how the numbers for photovoltaics were not 193 million ounces. That was a massive number. Everybody's going, oh my God, it's up 64%. That was not the right number. The right number was 350 million ounces, so they were 170 million ounce short. So you add 170 million ounces to the 142, you get a $300 million short imbalance in the market, running at a deficit. This is demand compared to supply. And if you look at it, a lot of people saying there's been 3 years of deficit. Some people saying 5. It's 3 years if you look at the market balance. But that's not accounting the exchange traded products like SLV and all that. You got to count that because it comes back into the market at some point too. So you got to count that in. That's people buying silver, so they think. Of course, we don't know how much silver is actually deposited, but hey. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of silver shortage, physical silver shortage, with next year even the Silver Institute, who's been getting everything so wrong to hurt silver investors for so long, they are expecting a 265 million ounce deficit, which would be the highest deficit since 2020. Now, in actuality, it will probably be 200 to 300 million ounces more just because of the photovoltaics, just because of what's going on in the solar panels. Here we go. China Xi Jinping renewable power target 6 years early. They hit their target 6 years early, and they're still expanding. Wind and solar generation surpasses 1,200 gigawatts or 1.2 terawatts. And that's a massive amount of solar. Right here we go. Solar is, for 2024, estimated at just in China, that can't be right, 700 gigawatts just in China? Oh, that's total installation. Okay. So they're going to do about 55 to 60% more in China again this year. Last year, the overall was, I think, 76% higher in solar. This year, we're looking at, right here, I have it right at the front on the road to Ruta. For the last 2 years, it'd be 135% increase. Another big jump. We are already up to 582 gigawatts. That roughly translates into, because they're doing TopCon, roughly translates into 450 to 500 million ounces of silver just going into solar panels. So if you look here, and what they had projected is, this is the Solar Institute, 232. So I'm saying 450 to 500 based on what is reported official numbers for solar, and they're saying 230. See, that's the insanity. How can solar go up so much, and yet it uses less and less silver, or it uses less and less silver per watt, according to the Silver Institute, and yet everybody knows that TopCon uses about 1.5 times the amount of silver per module. And that's all everything is TopCon now. 80% of what's going to go in this year is TopCon. So the Solar Institute is just lying. And that's the problem with when you have the artificial suppression of the silver price. You get pops like this where it goes up $1 a day, and everyone's going, why? And then you get derivatives being thrown at it like it's going out of style. And this is what you're going to get. The rest of the world is going to run away with it. PM Modi for India pledges to help India achieve 500 gigawatt renewable energy by 2030. That's a 32-fold increase. 32-fold increase in just 6 years. So divided by 6 is what? 5x? 5x per year? There's not enough physical silver to do all this stuff. But you wouldn't know it because the price is not allowed to go above $30, and price is not ever allowed to go above $50. That's the problem with rigging the silver market, is you have misallocations of commodities, of silver especially. They shouldn't be putting so much silver into these solar panels, because normally the price would have doubled, tripled, quadrupled by now, like gold did. But silver is not allowed to do that. So the big banks just short, and one day they will be taken out, and that day will come when India or China or any country on the planet says, I need some silver and I can't buy an ounce. It becomes unobtainium no matter what the CFTC and the Treasury and the Federal Reserve say. All silver is being consumed now. And this number right here is a lie. The shortfall is going to be over 500 million ounces this year, by far. And then next year, probably over 1,000. Well, that would be 1 billion ounces in shortfall. Why else? Because they're making cars like they're going out of style. Electric cars. China's EV take-up rate rose 53.9% in August as BYD leads the shift from petrol to batteries. BYD is bigger than Tesla. BYD is this electric car company that China started to destroy the world. Everybody's driving a BYD. I really think ultimately what's going on behind all this is that they have a new way to create electricity, and they're not telling us. I don't know what it is. It could be a million things. I mean, obviously, internal combustion engines are long gone. They are not the future, and every country on the planet is trying to get electric cars, because I think electricity will be very abundant, especially if they make 0-point type energies where it doesn't cost you anything. Maybe, I don't know, it could be anything. There's so many ways to make electricity that have been hidden from us. It's crazy. So yes, it's nice to see silver go up $1 in a day, but the reality is it's just short covering. And the criminals that run this game still have control, but they are losing the physical silver. They can control the price, but they can't control the amount of physical silver going into solar panels, going into electric cars, being used in industry, And then as soon as the price rises over $30, $40, or $50, all of a sudden the investor will come back and find out there's no silver to buy at any price. Sorry, you lose. That's what I wanted to go over real quick. Just a real quick update. Great to see silver over $1. Cliff High had silver going into $1 days, then $5 days, then $10 days. We'll raise $10 in a day. Where do I think the price of silver going? I don't know. I think the gold-silver ratio is going to get very close to 1-to-1, if not surpass it. Silver's so much more important, and there's so much less silver than there is gold on the planet right now. I'm not saying we can't, take 10 years and dig it out of the ground like people want to, but at $29 silver, not many people are opening new silver mines. Gold mines, yeah. There's always more gold, and there's always a lot of hidden gold that you're not told about. So keep that in mind. Just a quick update, and then go to roadtoroot.com. Check out all the things I have on the first page. It's all about solar. This is what's going on this year. Solar installs are up 135% for 2023 to 2024, and yet the Silver Institute only has it up by 65%. The amount of silver used in it. It's such a fraud. Amazing fraud in the silver market. Just another one. And then here's some charts. Everything in red was changed from the year before. Complete lies. And this is pure fraud. I outlined what the Silver Institute says versus what their report says. For example, mine production, or let's just go to electrical. Here we go. Photovoltaics, 140 in 2022. And this is the same thing in 2022, 118. So it went from 140 to 118 because they wanted it to look like they're not cheating as much, but they are. You can't change history. It's just fraud. It's just pure fraud. Here's some letters I wrote to those guys. Here's a great discussion I had with the head of U.S. Silver Eagle Sales, a guy named Jack Sermon, 3-part discussion where he basically admits that the U.S. Mint is breaking the law in 5 different places. Go check it out, roadtoroot.com. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.